Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm David Atkinson, Vice President of Data and Analytics at Sun Life. Today I have the pleasure of talking with Vukosi Sambo, Executive Head of Data Insights at Afrocentric Group. Vukosi, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, David. I'm excited and looking forward to the conversation today.
So, being in a similar role to storytelling is one way. How do you go about getting your stakeholders, your shareholders, your different participants to invest in capabilities that you need? Do you differentiate between foundational data and analytic capabilities that are going to help you do your job, or do you differentiate with the way you think about those versus maybe more client tangible impacting data and analytic initiatives?
You sort of do, but I think at the same time, most organizations, if not all, have just become sort of under pressure to be value driven, and people want results and want results now. And you gotta have this balance between being able to meet that need and really at the same time building for posterity for long term and in a sustainable way. So I call it sort of an ambidextrous approach. How do you deliver for now, yet gearing yourself for the future, and obviously through resilience scaling and all of that. So I almost think of it from a perspective that you need to prioritize your high value projects so that it obviously keep your sponsors, your fellow business executives engaged and invested, and help them fund your foundational elements. But I found that in most instances they are very less interested in those foundational elements, unless if you have over time traveled a journey where they really truly see data as a strategic asset. And in my case, that is why I like trying to remind them that we are a data company. so that at least sensitize them to say, if we are a data company and this is the most important asset, and I mean, you and I would probably have read well the work that someone like Doug Laney has done around infonomics. Then our approach in how we manage this asset and utilize it for the greatest business benefit becomes a no-brainer. So everything that even foundationally comes with that does get to have a better backing, because obviously, like it rides, and we all agree that it's also a unique form of asset that doesn't diminish with use. It actually appreciates, and unlike a physical building. And I mean, the debates of why it's not yet in the balance sheet is for another day. But once you really get the buy-in from your users to really start thinking of data not just as a back office operational support function, but as a center of the business strategy, it does change quite a lot. But we cannot run away from the need to deliver value and deliver it fast and balance that very well with our foundational build that will create a sustainable capability for us.
Yeah. So just building on that point, how is your success or your team's success measured and valued by your peers, by your executives, by your other stakeholders?
Yeah. Flowing from that, there are two parts. So the first and foremost one is exactly speaks to how we can demonstrate our business through utilization of our data products and assets have been able to deliver on 4 key areas, which is how has it supported revenue increases, how has it driven down costs, how has it helped the organization manage risk better, and how has it helped us understand and improve on our customer experience efforts and initiative in the organization. So it is very directly linked to what anyway the business is measuring as key business outcomes. So we look in all those areas and see how data assets and solutions that we're building are supporting those decisions, or even directly as far as intelligent automation and so forth, powering those efficiencies in the respective areas, be it in operations or be it you are producing recommender models that allow business to recommend better products that clearly shows higher levels of conversion from a sales perspective and so forth is quite a link that we insist on, because we actually refer to our data cluster in its entirety as the business of data. So we are in the business of data. We don't like to be thought of as a call center. We are a revenue generating unit, and we kind of think of it as in like we need an income statement ourselves to show these are the initiatives, this is the value they've delivered to business in these 4 categories, and this is how much it has cost to deliver on these solutions and the capabilities that we've had to put forward, be it platforms and people and technologies to be able to achieve that.
Great. So going back to your approach of storytelling, tell me a story about how data and analytics has made a difference to one of your clients or some of your clients.
Yeah, so I mean, we within our near 4 million customers, we basically process claims of over 37 billion rand a year in terms of health claims that we process and pay on behalf of these customers. And from what I articulated earlier on about data being integral in helping us understand inefficiencies, patterns that help us develop personalized journeys with better outcomes that downstream reduces the cost of care. I can confirm that in the previous financial year, we managed to deliver cost savings for of over 4.3 billion rand. And prior to that, we had delivered 2.7 billion rand through smarter use of analytics and health risk initiatives that are data-driven in our space. And to really contextualize that, that's something that can fund over 77,000 C-sections in the South African context, and over 60,000 kidney replacements. So this is something that is tangible. And actually, if you put it in rand terms, it means 227 rands per member per month. That is, in general, anything between 5 to 15% of someone's monthly contribution. So when you start thinking of it in terms of how we can really reinvest this into enriching the benefits for the members, or even keeping our increases low, which we have proven in the last 2 years. Our increases have been lower than more than 70% of the market players as a result of all these initiatives. We don't just talk this value game. We have delivered this value back to our clients, to our members, in a way that they can feel in their pocket without compromising the quality of their care, because we have also seen increase in the health outcomes themselves. And to maybe give you a global number in terms of the African region, where we are obviously one of the key players, is that life expectancy in the last 10 years, according to the World Health Organization report, has improved by almost 10 years in the region. So you can see that the role of health in improving health outcomes and driving early diagnosis, wellness, prevention, and disease management programs, all the way to palliative care, is really delivering on better quality life experiences for our population.
Wow, that's material. That's really impressive. Well, thank you, Vukosi, for joining me today. Very informative. I appreciate your time. And thanks to the watchers. Please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. I'm David Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, David. Thanks for having me.